A solar cell, or photovoltaic cell, is a device which generates electricity directly from visible light using the photovoltaic effect. The photovoltaic effect is the creation of voltage or electric current in a material upon exposure to light. Solar cells are made from semiconductors such as silicon. Sunlight is composed of particles known as protons, which comes from the sun. As these protons hit the silicon atoms of the solar cell, they transfer the energy to loose electrons, knocking them off the atom. Now, the electrons is being put into electrical current. This involves creating an electrical imbalance within a cell. Creating this imbalance is made possible by the internal organization of silicon. Silicon atoms are arranged together in tightly bound structures, by squeezing small amounts of other elements into this structure. Two different types of silicon created: N-type silicon, which has spare electrons, and P-type silicon, which is missing an electron. These two materials are placed side by side inside a solar cell. The N-type silicon spare electron jumps over to fill the gaps in the P-type silicon. The N-type silicon then becomes positively charged, and the P-type becomes negatively charged, creating electrical fields across the cell. Because silicon is a semiconductor, it can act as an insulator, keeping this in balance. As the photons hit the electrons off the silicon atoms, this field drives them along in an orderly manner, producing the electrical current needed to power objects. There are around 3 basic types of solar cells. The first type is monocrystalline cells. Monocrystalline cells are cut from a silicon ingot grown from a single large crystal of silicon. The second type is polycrystalline cells. Polycrystalline cells are cut from an ingot made up of many smaller crystals. The third type is amorphous or thin film solar cell. Amorphous solar cells are made by depositing a thin film of silicon onto a sheet of another material such as steel. Most thin film solar cells are placed between two planes of glass to make a module. Solar cells are eco-friendly because they use renewable energy, which comes from the sun, unlike regular electricity. Regular electricity uses fossil fuels, which is a non-renewable source of energy. Also, fossil fuels release carbon dioxide into the air, causing the greenhouse effect to occur. Solar cells can be used for little things such as calculators, household lamps and lights, mobile phone and laptop chargers, radios, and military equipment, and it can be used for big things such as solar panels, satellites, and even satellite rovers. Solar cells in spacecraft are used mainly for two reasons. The first is to run the sensors, telemetry, and heating and cooling. The second reason is to power the spacecraft's propulsion. Some spacecrafts use solar panels on the Hubble Space Telescope and the International Space Station. Also, the Magellan Mars Rover Surveyor and the Mars Observer use solar power. Also, solar cells have been used in spacecraft that have traveled as far as to Jupiter. Based on what you just have learned, you can see that solar cells are very important for little and large things. Hopefully in the future, solar cells will be used to power our everyday lives.